Please be seated, and if you can't find a seat, get somewhere comfortable. First, I'd like to begin by welcoming everyone and thanking each and every one of you for being here on this special day. It's no accident that each of you are here today, and each of you were invited to be here because you represent someone important in the individual and collective lives of Grace and Thomas. It's because of all of you, because of the strong community of family and friends, that their relationship has strengthened and grown and led them to this very moment. I truly can't think of a better place than this beautiful oasis for an occasion that I know is not only monumental for the wedded couple-to-be, but for all of us who are lucky to know and love them as individuals, but even more so as a perfect pairing. I know how deeply these two care for and love one another, and I feel privileged to be here today among all of you as a witness of their commitment to a lifetime of love for one another. I've had the good fortune to meet most of you here today at some point or another, but for those of you whom I haven't met, my name is Jamis, and I'm best known for almost ruining Thomas's surprise proposal on stage after a SweatNet event because the microphone wire was caught in my shirt and we couldn't get it off. So shout out to Aaron for saving the day on that one. They have asked that I keep this speech short. Also, in true Grace and Thomas fashion, they've decided to do things their own way with drop sound headphones. One thing we can certainly all agree on is that they are anything but ordinary, so this unique wedding ceremony is absolutely perfect. Grace and Thomas, what you've accomplished here today is no small feat. Your journey began way before you sent out the invitations, obviously, because you sent most of them out on Facebook last week. Your journey really began the moment you met 4 years ago with Thomas, then married, unemployed, living with his parents, and wearing an American Eagle sweater from 9th grade that was several sizes too small. And Grace, in a flannel shirt and wet hair, which clearly goes to show she had no idea this would be the night she'd meet her future husband. And yet, 4 vodka sodas later, they each knew that this was something that would last forever. As a third-party spectator to their love, it is extremely clear that the two of them represent a perfect pairing because each of them complements the other so well. They balance one another, and while each of them are tremendous individuals on their own, together they are even better. And being better together as a team, a unit, and partners in crime is what has been many years in the making and ultimately leads us to being here today, witnessing their commitment to one another in front of those they love. I wish I could tell you a single story about Grace and Thomas that summarizes their relationship and how they enrich each other's lives and the lives of each of us, but the truth is, there isn't one single event that is a good encapsulation of what they mean to me, to each other, and to everyone gathered here today. But what I do know is that they care deeply and passionately for each other. They protect each other. They make each other laugh and think outside themselves. They are so different in their experiences, but common in their beliefs. And time magically seems to both fly and slow down when they're together, which is probably because they're together all day, every day in their home, which also happens to be SweatNet's headquarters. I also know that it's not just anyone with whom you can have communication with simply a look, translate each other's non-English autocorrects, let loose and be goofy, and at the same time help each other make responsible decisions, forgive each other endlessly and without penance, and love each other unconditionally. even though one of you lacks boundaries and volume control, and the other is constantly getting themselves into trouble with their overtly direct delivery of opinions in the heat of the moment. It's also my personal experiences with Grace and Thomas that highlight the quality of their love. It doesn't matter if I'm with them in person or in a bizarre group text with them, which happens almost daily. When I'm engaging with Grace and Thomas, I'm always having fun and laughing, either with them, at them, or at my own expense, because they are always the first ones to point out when I'm taking myself too seriously. And I am certain that that's part of what makes them so special to each of us, not only how happy we feel when we are with them, but also their ability to make every situation better with laughter. What I wish for them on their wedding day is that their lifetime together as a team is one of complete contentment, full of those moments that they wish would never end, and that they continue to make one another smile and laugh as much as they make all of us.
Tom, who knew that when I met you 4 years ago in a quaint Irish Bennigan's that would be the beginning of forever? I remember thinking when I saw you stuffed into your too small American Eagle sweater from high school, at least 4 vodka sodas deep, is this really the guy I've been talking to for the last month? We hit it off like we'd known each other forever, and when I finally got to introduce you to my parents as married, unemployed, and living with your parents, I was sure this was something I wanted to last forever. From flying across the country to meet your family a month in, to moving in with me 2 weeks later, things moved quickly and you stayed true to your word, a trait I appreciate more than you know. One of our first conversations was a joke that I needed a date for my friend's wedding in New Zealand, and you needed a +1 to make your trips to China a little more fun. From international travel to a quick stint of fame on The Steve Harvey Show, life had changed as I knew it. Fast forward 4 years, or is it 3? I'm so grateful to have you keeping my facts, my dates, and my numbers in line. You've eased me into adulthood and responsibility and continue to teach me things and challenge me every day. I remember when you found out at 25 years old that I still didn't have a credit card because I could do it all by myself with just a checking account, insistent that I didn't need credit. Thanks for letting me in on the secret that that's how people buy homes, cars, adventures, and the bigger things in life. And thank you, Dad, for giving me a head start before I learned what credit was actually about. Your kindness and commitment, Tom, to doing what is right, no matter how daunting, unpopular, or non-traditional it may be, inspires me. Albeit your in-the-moment delivery is not always the greatest, but your intention and your actions speak louder than your words. The insight, generosity, imagination, support, and humor you bring to each day puts a smile on my face that I look forward to having for the rest of my life. You're good people. You're my kind of people. There was a time in my life where I truly believed that the only person for me was me. And my dog, of course. I had so fiercely built up my walls and was determined that I could do it all by myself that I was caught off guard when I met you. In the best way, you surprised me, and you continue to surprise me even after however long we've been together. From beach buses to the Jambulance, living in lighthouses, or dreaming of living in a lighthouse, to a drop sound wedding. I love your ability to turn a half-baked thought into reality. It only took a few months for those walls to start coming down and for me to realize that the reward in risking it all with you was way more than the comfort of doing it all alone. I'm not much for plans or pledges or always and nevers, but I'm committed to you and I'm committed to us. To wholeheartedly love you for who you are and who you will become. To be patient. To listen and learn without judgment, to laugh with you in the good times and grind through the bad, to be your biggest fan and your partner in crime. I can't tell you what's next, but there's no doubt in my mind we'll take it on in true Tom and Grace form. You've been my roommate for what feels like forever, and I cannot wait to start this next chapter with you as my hubs. Congratulations on making the cut. You've officially been upgraded. And so, in the interest of full disclosure, I'd very much like to kiss you right now.
Hi, Grace. It's me, Thomas, your husband. That's weird. Here I am, 1 a.m, recording my vows to you because that's how we do things, not the regular way. And for some reason, you put up with it, and you allow me to be unconventional, non-traditional, but I think as some people might call it, just stupid and tacky. But I did write some vows and I will read them to you. Sorry for the notes. Grace, although we've been together for 4 years now, somehow I am only now discovering that you like horror movies. It should not come as a surprise to you or anybody for that matter that I like chick flicks, because that is all we ever watch besides action hero movies. I always had a vision in my mind how I would meet my wife, meet you, maybe by saving you from a burning building or through some serendipitous sequence of really, really romantic events. But chick flicks teach you these things and they teach you the value of them. And so I knew if I hung around enough burning buildings that I would meet the one. I would meet you. But fortunately for me, I never was able to find that burning building or any burning building for that matter. But I still was able to get my romantic story. Now if people ask me how I met my wife, I am lucky to be able to tell them 2 versions of a true story of how I met you. The first version is in a quaint Chicago Irish bar named Bennigan's, like you like to tell people, located in a Holiday Inn lobby in Chicago. Option 2, Tinder. To my shock and to your horror, Tinder has apparently been the more romantic version of the story of how we met. According to Cosmopolitan magazine, our relationship is a, quote, story that will warm your heart. However, I've always been more privy to the MTV version of the headline saying that our relationship is, quote, a real-life rom-com. Mission fucking accomplished. I love that you let me choose rom-coms when we watch movies, but I'm not sure we really need to do that anymore because nobody's story can match our true story, except Love Actually maybe, and Crazy Stupid Love. About Time was good, but the point is, we're definitely top 10, and ours is true. I will always promise to be the romance to your comedy, the beast to your beauty, and the tonic to your gin, and maybe the sweet to your sweat. And I also love the fact that you think you like horror movies. But anyway, like the bathroom light after you watch a scary movie, you are always on. You are a unique light to this world. Your smile is something that will always make anybody happy. However, your stupid Elmo laugh is something that makes me fall in love with you every single time I hear it. You make life better for every human you interact with, and I am beyond lucky to get to be with you, to work alongside you, and to be loved by you every day of my life. I promise to remember that you are you, caring, giving, and as stubborn as anything can get. I promise to ignore everyone's advice of never going to bed angry, and to remember that almost every time, just going to bed for you is the equivalent of Superman getting sunshine, and somehow everything magically gets better. In the interest of full disclosure, I promise to always be me, the nerd that I am, and who I have always been for you. I know that you love me and unconditionally trust that you will always accept me for my imperfections, my flaws, my opinions, bad haircuts, worse ideas, wet towels, my quirks, and all of my other opinions. I promise to evolve with you and not against you. As we get older and we're faced with challenges, I promise to face them with you by your side, and we can be old and crazy together. I promise to keep life as an adventure for as long as we're both alive. I promise to grow with you, to fall deeper in love with the person you are each and every day, and to support you to the best ways that I can, even if those best ways mean letting you do it by yourself. I can't promise I'll keep my mouth shut though. Grace, I love you. I'm proud of the person you were when we met. I'm proud of the person you are now, 4 years later. And I'm so excited to see the person, wife, mother, and crazy plant lady that you're about to become. Even though you said it first, I vow to always love you, and I will always choose you.
So, this is the first and last time I'll be sappy with you both. Don't forget this. Grace, you're like a sister to me. You're kind, smart, funny, and humble. Your laughter is contagious, and you never fail to put a smile on anyone's face. Tom, you're like the brother I never wanted. You're extremely intelligent to the point where it's annoying. But like all good brothers, you're protective and would do anything for your family. I've only known Tom and Grace for 2 years, but I feel like I've known them my whole life, which says a lot about their character. The two of you inspire me daily. You both are fiercely loyal to not only your friends, but more importantly to each other. I love your love, and I love you both dearly. I can't wait for the rest of our lives together. Cheers.
Okay, so I got my notes, but I was thinking about it, and it was kind of crazy. I've only known you guys for like less than 24 months. Or 24 hours, yeah. And I was bawling my eyes out at your wedding. Because the real truth is, I'm the Kramer of Thomas and Grace's life. And I just walk into their house 24/7, usually with a warning phrase kind of like, put your clothes on. Just so I'm a little safe when I'm entering, but the truth is, when I need good people around, they never kick me out and they always let me in. Fluffy skin or not, Grace or Thomas are the ones I go to when I say, let's get pizza tonight. And breadsticks, 3 large pizzas and wings later, Tom replies with, we're at $86, let's see if we can get it to 100, because why not? The two halves of you equal one true friend for me, and I'm so happy we finally sealed this deal. Cheers to you. Kampai.
True love is truly putting someone else's wants and desires ahead of their own. And I've never met a couple that's been more true of Tom and Grace for their dog, Charlie, actually. They love that dog so much. But no, I mean, all kidding aside, truly, I mean, I've known Tom and Grace for about 2 years, and I've never experienced two people. I mean, if you spend 5 minutes with them, you understand that they put their time and energy, they sacrifice their privacy and probably their sanity, all for people around them that they love and want to lift up all the time, solely for that purpose. And for that reason, you two, I will always be grateful. So cheers. They always say you should never make your best friends your business partners, but I'm here to tell you your business partners can become your best friends. Love you guys. Next.
Grace, my Twinkie, the sparkle to my wisdom, the bud to my pud, my partner in crime, the first picture. I can't believe this day has finally arrived. I've imagined it all kinds of ways, but never quite like this, and by now I should know better. Your joy and precarious handstands have always been a part of doing things your own way. And And while we have always done things our own way and on our own time, we seem to keep making our way back to each other. Thank you for building forts with me in the middle of the night, testing nail polish colors on our bedroom walls, for letting me cut your hair without adult supervision, for playing in the rain and running laps around the house when we had too much energy. Thanks for leading the way and trying new things and always following your heart. I couldn't imagine life without you, and there's no one I'd rather have spent the last 29 years with. My boss once asked me what I want most in life, and I told him that I wanted to be able to love everyone in it. All of my people, my humans, my tribe, and to be able to love my people's favorite humans. I'm lucky to say that holds true, and I look forward to a lifetime of handstands and surprises.
Is it the look in your eyes, or is it this dancing juice? Who cares, baby? I think I wanna marry